What's going on YouTube? It's Zach here with The Lefty Conservative. Welcome to another video. So today I want to talk to you about what my experience has been like as a Trump supporter. And let me tell you, it's been, let's just say, eventful. Especially when you talk to non-Trump supporters like most Democrats and liberals. I've been called just about every derogatory name that you could possibly think of just for being a Trump supporter. I've been called an Uncle Tom, a coon, a racist, a wannabe white person, a wannabe white supremacist, a sellout, a bigot, homophobic, xenophobic, intolerant, ignorant, and prejudicial. Now, there's two things that are quite funny about this. Number one is that it doesn't really take much to have all these insults hurled at you. All you literally have to do is say, and I quote, "I am a Trump supporter," to a Democrat or liberal, and watch all their insults rain down on you like a hailstorm. Now, if Trump supporters are really all the bad things that Democrats and liberals say we are, just because we're Trump supporters, then by that logic, that means all Joe Biden supporters are pedophiles who like to sniff kids, like he does. Now, how many Democrats or liberals are going to agree with that assertion? That, like Biden, they're also pedophiles themselves who like to diddle with underage boys and girls? Probably none. And number two is that the things that they accuse you of being, just because you're a Trump supporter, are things that they demonstrate themselves without them even realizing it. Like I mentioned before, I've been called ignorant and intolerant just for being a Trump supporter. But the funny thing about that is these Democrats and liberals demonstrate ignorance and intolerance towards Trump supporters by applying a blanket statement to all of them. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. And just to give you a better idea of what it is I'm talking about, I'm going to show you a few clips just so you can see how bad it can be if you're a Trump supporter. Let's take a look.
Minnesota veterans are recovering from cuts and bruises after a clash on the steps of the state capitol. That was the scene last Saturday as supporters of President Donald Trump tried to get inside the Capitol to attend a rally. They were met by counter-protesters spreading a much different message. WCCO's Liz.
What are you doing?
Wise says his cuts and bruises came shortly after another Trump supporter was pushed to the ground and kicked in the head.
After that,
They blamed the Antifa for the scuffles. It's estimated a couple hundred members of the Antifa.
In 2016, something that the president was really proud of in his campaign was that it was self-funded and that he had a lot of small...
Oh, nice.
I'm so sorry. Are you okay?
I'm sorry. I'm fine.
Is that spit?
Are you serious? I'm fine.
Sorry. I'm sorry that happened. It's not how it really, that's not how people really feel. That's fucking disrespectful. But on the other hand, that shit is disrespectful as fuck too.
Sorry.
So there's a difference.
Sorry.
Yeah, I didn't do
I
that.
respect your opinion.
I didn't do that. That wasn't me. I was just trying to take a picture.
That's all right.
What I believed was a peaceful assembly. I completely believed it was a peaceful assembly. I simply came here wearing a Donald Trump hat. I happened to have the whole thing recorded with 375 people watching. I was cornered. I was beat to the ground when I attempted to run away. I was chased by the entire mob of people. I was kicked down to the ground. I was punched repeatedly.
Now do you see what I'm talking about? Now do you see why I don't support the Democrat Party? Now do you see why I'm not a liberal? I mean, honestly, these were three Trump supporters that were harassed and attacked. One guy got pushed down and kicked. Another guy got spit on while he was doing an interview. and yet another guy was chased around by an angry mob. And for what? For being a Trump supporter. For wearing a MAGA hat. Seriously? Like, when did it become a crime to be a Trump supporter in this country? And the funny thing, or not really the funny thing, the sad thing about it is that these Democrats and liberals who are going out of their way to attack Trump supporters and harass Trump supporters, they've been brainwashed by mainstream media who tell them all these bad and negative things that Trump has said or done. Things that honestly have been taken out of context. And I'm willing to bet that a lot of these Democrats and liberals get their news from news networks like CNN and MSNBC. Now, it should be worth noting that these two news networks that I just mentioned are Democrat, liberal-themed networks. And they've literally been on an anti-Trump smearing campaign since the moment he took office nearly 4 years ago. That's really sad. They have done everything and anything to smear his name and damage his reputation. Like I said, when did it become a crime to be a Trump supporter? Honestly, I have yet to see a Trump supporter go out of their way to attack a Democrat or someone that's liberal. And the only time that I've seen them get physical with a Democrat or liberal is in situations where they had to defend themselves, where they had to physically protect themselves. Otherwise, they were going to get beaten up. Like, seriously, this is why I don't get down with Democrats or liberals. Look at the way they conduct themselves. I mean, seriously, like, what sane, rational person with any type of decency or manners or sense of civility would support a party like that, would become a liberal? It makes no sense. I mean, they undoubtedly do not want to be attacked or criticized for their beliefs and opinions. That's why they go out and protest, and that's why there's been a lot of rioting and looting and all of these things. But the second that somebody like a Trump supporter comes out and expresses a different opinion or belief, now it has to be World War III? Really? Really? Like, the Democrats and liberals who conduct themselves this way should be ashamed of themselves. Like, how can you consider yourself a decent human being if this is how you're going to behave towards another human being who happens to have different opinions and beliefs other than from what you believe? Seriously. I mean, am I right? Am I wrong for thinking the way I do? Like, does it make sense? I want to know what you think. Let me know in the comments below. Also, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe and turn notifications on. That's it for today's video. I will talk to you in the next video. But until then, this is Zach with The Lefty Conservative. I'm out. Take care.